Section 9 is a cyber crime unit that's put together to take on highly advanced cyber criminals and terrorists.
Probably the most feared crime in the world is hacking, and it's getting more and more sophisticated and therefore more and more dangerous. In order to protect us, we need some very, very special warriors.
Section 9 is a team that Major works for, a small but highly trained tactical unit, equivalent to a kind of SEAL team.
I don't know what you would call us exactly. An unruly bunch of some pretty tough people.
What is that?
Section 9 comprises Major, who's the leader, Bato, and a host of other characters that are ex-military, ex-police, and computer experts.
They're all chosen for their specific enhancements and skill sets.
Very well-skilled operatives. A funky bunch.
You got enhanced so you can drink more?
If you look at this cast, it's a diverse world.
In Section 9 alone, we're representing Japan, Australia, Denmark,
Fiji, Zimbabwe, New Zealand. Certainly an eclectic mix.
It's probably the most diverse cast I've ever worked with.
Welcome to Ghost in the Shell.
This film is really about the journey of self-discovery for the character of the Major.
What are you?
The Major is tasked with trying to track down the villain who has hacked into a group of Hanker scientists and stolen data from their brains. And so her and her team, Section 9, go down this road of trying to find who this guy is.
A message was left at each of the crime scenes by someone identifying himself as Kuze.
Major is an amazing soldier and tactician and, incredibly intelligent, but there's something kind of dark and unspoken about her.
You're not the same. Hey.
It's just a robot.
Within the group, it also means she's got a status and presence that everyone really respects.
Through this journey of fighting terrorism, she embarks on a path to self-discovery in a very unexpected way. She makes a very heroic choice at the end of this film. She owns the decision to be the Major.
You're not here looking for any trouble, are you?
Just here for the girls.
Major is the leader and Bato is the second in command. Even though if you're asking me personally, I think he's the leader and she's second in command. But that's one of those fights between those two characters that we really like for this film.
He's a protector to her, and he's got a real understanding of her, and he's been through a lot of pain himself.
Are you okay?
With Bato, he's got these iconic binocular eyes. He is an old military guy. He is a killer. But in my humble opinion, he's also the heart and soul of Ghost in the Shell. He is the character that people would relate to. That's one of the reasons why it was so important for me that he eats pizza, he drinks beer, he loves dogs. These basic things that I personally can relate to, and hopefully the audience as well.
Get away from her! Get down on the ground now! Major!
Major's relationship with Bato is a very unique one because when Major is with Bato, it's the most kind of human she feels.
Bato brings out a side of the Major that no one else can. Some of that humor and a lighter side to her, and I think she needs that.
Meet Major. Major Gabriel.
She feels protected, I think, emotionally when she's with him. And of course, he takes a liking to her and I think is interested by her. To find a respite in a very overwhelming world that she's living in, with Bato, I think she can have those kind of quiet moments.
We used to have a dog.
Seriously? I had you down as more of a cat person.
Maybe Major is the one who got away from Bato, It says so much about Bato that he falls in love with a cyber. He falls in love with a ghost in a shell. It was a big gift for the film that Takashi wanted to play Aramaki.
役は荒牧という公安休暇のボスです。映画自体が近未来の設定なんだけれども、心っていうか元々の人間らしさというオリジナリティの喜怒哀楽を進化した近未来にあんまり適合してないっていうんだね。だから元々そういうことには時代がじゃんじゃん前に進んでいるんだけど、心だけはそれに合わせて変化しないような頑固な男だというような設定だと思ってるんだけど。
I think Takeshi gives that character the weight that it needs to hold down the heaviness of the responsibility of Hanka and that portion of the government. And of course, being the commander of Section 9, he needs to have a kind of a bite to him, which Takeshi does in the best way.
Takeshi-san comes from a Japanese acting tradition, which is very different from a Danish one, where we are very expressive, we are very verbal. You can almost call him the Asian Clint Eastwood. He's so calm, he's so collective, but yet there's this whole story, this whole life that unfolds in his face, and that's incredible to watch. He doesn't do anything, and with not doing anything, he does a lot, and he tells a lot. So I'm going back and watching all of his DVDs.
今日さ、やつは何をしでかすかわからんぞ。
Don't go in there. It's too dangerous.
Togusa is the only member of Section 9 who is wholly human and has no cybernetic enhancements.
Embrace the enhancements, Togusa.
I'm all human and happy, thanks.
He's suspicious of anything that is very cybernetic or technological, which is why he carries a very distinctive Mataba revolver instead of a big submachine gun.
Togusa, he brings sort of a police essence to it, whereas a lot of the other members are military background based.
Go!
The relationship between Togusa and Bato is very interesting. I mean, they have a classic good cop, badass cop relationship. They often rely on each other, you know, Bato on Togusa's human intuitions and Togusa on Bato's physical abilities.
Togusa!
It was very exciting creating this character with Rupert because we built the character of Togusa from the ground up, piece by piece, and I think we've created something that hopefully is original, but at the same time respectful of the source material.
It's good to get out and start firing some weapons of it. It's going to be loud.
Turn fire!
Ishikawa fits in this unit as an intelligence and information technology officer. So his skill set is basically honed in on hacking and manipulating that information in certain situations. Also on the field where he can take up arms and do his fair share of the hairy work. Given the world that they're in, where everything is sort of technologically based and the internet is a massive component of the world, Ishii's skill set is heavily relied upon, especially when it comes to deciphering code and intercepting messages.
Okay, stand by, and action!
Saito is a sniper.
He's very good at locating targets and knocking them off with one shot.
This is Sato's sniper rifle, based around a Remington 700. An eye jack that's built from his eye comes in directly into the weapon, so he doesn't actually physically have to sight up on his target. He can, in theory, be looking the other way, but still sighting his target.
Little lens fell out, man. The party can't go on.
No.
My character Boma is originally listed as the security and explosives weapons expert. My character served in the Japanese Defense Forces. I like to think that he leads from the back. The telltale signs for Boma is that he's got prosthetic eyes, pretty much just like Bato. And also he's got enhanced strength. So he's full mecha, as they say, full mechanical body. He's the biggest guy in Section 9.
He's a very robust character and he's doing a lot of the muscle work.
With Section 9, even though there sometimes are dark undertones in terms of what we do as a job, there's still a cheekiness there, there's some kind of maybe a frivolity. And I think that in a sense has lent itself quite well to the way they cast us.
Find your way. Now.
She's in transit. Her comms are down.
So we have created a new character, taken some liberties regarding the Section 9.
Ladria doesn't exist in any of the previous Ghost in the Shell films, franchises, or anything, so it's cool. We get to make her up from scratch, which is amazing. Rupert and I work together discussing the character, where she might be from, what her history might be, and how she ended up here.
He's in there.
This cube is secure.
The lie detector. He must have hacked in that way. We should uplink to the machine, trace the code, get a lock on his location.
Do it.
She's the only other girl in that crew, so she's got to hold her own. When it comes down to it, she will shoot you and ask questions later. She's that kind of girl.
Ladria is very zippy and fast, so she gets in and gets the job done very quickly on enemy threats.
She'll sneak behind and provide weapons if someone's on a mission.
You tooled up?
Yep. Target's the basement. I'll lead.
Hey, one more. Last one. You can do it.
Every day, all of Section 9 do training. We do physical training to get us all in shape. And then we also have a weapons trainer and stunt people work with us. So we've learned hand-to-hand combat and knives and working with machine guns and pistols and grappling with an enemy and all that kind of stuff.
I'm looking forward to doing all these action bits together, where we can fumble around with guns.
Section 9, when they're all together, it's a pretty formidable force to be reckoned with.
We're like a big gang and family, and in the end, that's kind of worked its way into the film.
We've become a very tight group. We've become very good friends now. These guys are just awesome. So I really appreciate being a part of not only Section 9 on the film, but also Section 9 when we're not working.